Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Sonora Spring Zoo. Hope you guys are all having the most wonderful of wonderful days. I am joined this time by my good friend Remnant. Remnant, say hello to everybody.
Hello to everybody.
So, I recently called upon Remnant to kind of take over Sonora Springs for a little bit. I really was struggling towards the end. I think the last build I did, I'm gonna just kind of go into kind of sky down view. I think the last build I did was the lemurs or the Maine wolves exhibit, and it was I had fun with them, but at some point I was kind of just I can't really do this anymore. So I called upon you because I've literally admired your building skills for the entirety of my Planet Zoo career, and I'm just super happy that you even agreed to be in here.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, thank you for allowing me to be in here.
Oh, please. I'm more than happy to. So I can tell that you took some very direct inspiration from a little place down in, I believe is it California or is it Arizona?
Palm Springs, California.
Yes.
Yes.
So that was kind of my main inspiration for this kind of zoo entrance to begin with. Kind of the metal beams and stuff like that, but you took it up. Such a notch over here. This kind of level of detail, I'm just trying to figure out what pieces you used up here for I don't know what you would call that, kind of the breaks in the stone and stuff.
Or like the bevel or something. It's just I think it's I'm having a hard time remembering too, but it's one of the Twilight pieces.
Oh shoot.
Yeah.
Dude, the Twilight pieces are so such a slept on pack in
Honestly.
all honesty.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Insane.
Just it's so many awesome textures, this stone over here too. I love this little water section. Oh my gosh. And the gravel pieces.
Right. I mean, I was it's called Sonora Springs, so let's add a little bit of a water element, just so that. Also, I feel for me, anyways, Planet Zoo can become very static, and so to add some type of movement anywhere where you can. Is a good idea in my opinion. So adding water or whatever anywhere is always
That's a great thought right there. It's so crazy. I was talking with Nick about this the other day where you used to see people making waterfall builds in all the speed builds, all their builds and stuff like that, and I feel you don't get that anymore.
Yeah.
But that's always just such a good point to make. Just you have the ability to make these beautiful these very dynamic builds, and I just love to see that even on the outside of the zoo where it's not even an exhibit yet.
Right.
But I love what you did over here too, all this tiny detailing with the ramp. Oh my gosh. I'm I'm looking over here and I'm okay, I got some stuff to work on.
Yeah, no interiors, sorry.
It's listen. Doing the exteriors is my biggest flaw. I can't do them for the life of me. I can decorate the inside of here just fine. In fact, it's probably going to be its own little thing because I have this little gift shop over here too, and I'm probably going to steal some stuff. And all right. I love this already. So, in case if you guys weren't really aware, I did have this little bit of a kind of a dedication garden to whether it's people who helped out for the builds, blueprints I used, mods I used, yada yada yada. And this is honestly so much cleaner. It's so nice.
Well, I felt bad because I had to move it for this to add this little exit gift shop area. So I was well, I don't want to not replace it because I feel bad because everyone's names are there. So I figured you can add more to this if more people ever come in. It's easy to kind of just move everything. But
yeah, just the fact that you were able to preserve that is just incredible to me. And just I'm looking at all these small details in here, stuff that I really gotta push myself to do more. But the fact that these are kind of on, I'm not sure what axis that would be. I guess that would be kind of an x-axis. They're kind of turned over like that. That is such a good attention to detail right there.
It's just, it's one of those things where there's so many very sharp, angular shapes in this entry now, and so it's I wanted to add some sort of organic element. So having those circular planters that are on that little on that little tilt helps, and it kind of mirrors that the circular shape of the entry. turnstile area too.
So good because of that. Like,
yeah,
just that key eye for like those small like details, those small ideas, those small like, you know, motifs that you have going on in here. It's just so awesome to see.
Yeah.
Sweet. I can't believe we just completely neglected this part over here too. But this is so awesome just to be able to see, like, again, just like, this is something I always do appreciate about like so many Bro Nation builders like yourself, is using the guests for the advantage. Not the guests, but like even the staff members. Because I know so many people can like complain about the fact that they're so stylized, but I think it just helps, I don't know. Like, it helps flesh out a build, helps it feel so much more alive, and it's just so cool to see that.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree.
But yeah, we're just moseying on our way over here. Yeah, I
kind of, so all of this is like, I didn't really continue all the way to the side, but I just wanted to add, like, you know, I feel like you would see something like this as you're walking up to the park.
Absolutely. This is just so awesome to see. I just love all this detail. But I should probably let everyone know, I called you in for a very specific build, and that would be for the African penguins.
Yes.
So I'm already super excited to see how this came into play, just by, like, all the images that you've been teasing to me, all the images that you've been teasing to everyone else, and it's just so awesome to see this and be able to move around in person with all of this.
Yes, because this is like the shot that I've been like teasing.
Oh my gosh. But like, what could you tell me about your inspiration for this?
So, main inspiration for me, I think, was the exhibit that they have at the San Diego Zoo, in like the Africa Rocks section. And then honestly, like, I actually like looked up like what their kind of, I don't know, habitat would be like in the wild, and there was a lot of those really big white cliff faces, so I wanted to add that in the back, while still keeping like your mud wall aesthetic on the sides.
And this is something that I just love to see in zoos. Like, I'm kind of weird like that, where I'm like, I like to see the kind of clashing ideas happen at zoos. So just seeing like this beautiful white cliff face juxtaposed with like this bright orange kind of monstrosity of a mud wall, it's just so satisfying to see, because it helps an area feel so much more defined. But look at this stuff, all this layering. Like, I gotta figure out what biome. Tiger rocks, right? Okay, because I noticed that with these pieces right over here, where it's like this nice smooth gradient between like the faux rocks, which are nice bright and white, and then you have a little bit of dilapidation with these ones. It's just so cool to see. And I see you kind of mix the Siamang rocks into there too.
Yeah, yes. It's just, I mean, it's, I think like a lot of people try to stay like super uniform, and I think as long as you have like a base of like that mud wall, like you had, it's okay to you know, kind of venture off into other colors and other textures, as long as you have that foundation still.
For sure.
Of the other rock work, yeah.
Oh my gosh. I just love like this kind of crevice look into the water right down here.
Yeah.
And I feel like the transparency is perfect for it too. I just wish they were diving a little bit more. I'm gonna see if they can.
I know. It's weird because they do, and they did sort of, and then like after a while they just didn't.
It's so weird.
So, like it could have been like the rocks or something that was added too.
It might be. Let me just...
Yeah.
I don't know. Oh, well. Still, it's awesome just to be able to see. Because that's something I've noticed too, is that at least in the zoos and aquariums around me, the African penguins don't really dive all that much unless if like they're incentivized to, which is very interesting to see.
Right.
But look at that.
Oops, you can see. Sorry, you can see the arms of that rock statue.
That's so
pointing
funny.
out.
I'll find a way to make that work. It's too funny not to have. But this is so, like, even just like the smidge of buffalo grass up there, and right there too. That is so awesome to see. Oh man, I'm just
and actually. that whole I kind of made like a green roof, so the whole like backstage of that area is covered in that grass, and it kind of carries to the next exhibit as well.
So nice. Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
and that is so perfect too. Just be able to like, that's so organic. Love to see that. And yeah, I did notice back here. I kind of just walked by it a couple of times, but there are bathrooms in here, which is great to have.
Yes.
Something I neglect to put in pretty much all of my builds.
Same, I always forget.
Yeah, literally. So that's just so awesome to see. Are there guests in here yet?
I think that there are
There are,
guests.
yeah.
I think that they're like at the back of the park. I think I did have to like I took out the spawn point and I did put it back in, but I don't know if I like ruined it.
No,
So you might have to just fix it.
I have like some weird pathing thing happening near like the striped hyenas over here where it's like
Do they get trapped?
they kind of get trapped, but like the staff doesn't get trapped, so I have no clue what's happening. But
Right. It just seems like an empty ghost town zoo.
absolutely, I'll fix it. It's just, it's after hours or something. I really don't
Right.
know. It's exclusive time. But no, this is incredible, and I can't thank you enough. Is there anything else that you didn't hear? Like, this is already incredible. Don't get me wrong. I just want to make sure I'm not missing anything.
For the most part, it was, I really wanted to kind of work on that entry area, and then I just wanted to make sure to add like, a good like top level viewing and like also like the underwater level. So I mean, it's a really simple, it's not like a really crazy like concept design or anything.
Yeah.
It's like,
and like
whatever you'd see.
The simpler ones always work out so good because of that. I do see that you did probably one of my favorite things I've been seeing people do is use free build to kind of get the path textures down here too. Mm-hmm. So that is just super smart right there. This is also like, it's so minor, but it's so awesome just to see the two different levels over here, even though they're probably like, not even a meter apart.
Right,
It's so good just to keep like that kind of dynamic feel in your exhibits, and not even exhibits, but like in the guest pathways and stuff. That is just awesome.
Yeah. Well, because I also think of like, if there is, if you have guests that are viewing your the penguins from that lower deck, you also want there to be a way for them to be able to see above those people's heads.
Oh yeah.
So for them to be on that upper, even if it's just like a foot up, for them just to see that view. Also, it's kind of cool because when you're at this peep view on like the top, you're like eye level with them. Which
Exactly.
is kinda cool.
And like, it's kind of a tough habitat to work with that kind of eye level too, because it's such a cramped area, because this is more of a top down view. You did that like so awesome, like just the shift in elevation for the water, and just being like, this is probably, if you're like my height, you're completely underwater at that point, but it kind of works up like that, and that's just so awesome, just be able to like see these animals from all different angles. It's so cool to see.
Yeah, I mean, you also did a good job on where you wanted it to be, because there was that kind of that natural like upward elevation that was happening, so it kind of helped with the with the water level to like start it up more, and then have that path go down. So where you already wanted it was a very good idea.
For sure.
So good job.
Thank you. But yeah, that's kind of why I wanted these guys to be like towards the entrance, because this is again like one of my quote unquote DLC zoos, where it's kind of like the rush to get like, oh, I gotta do the wallaby speed build, I gotta do the caracal speed build, I gotta get like all these videos for all these new animals out, and it's kind of like, well, ideally I would want these guys at the entrance because they're loud, they're boisterous, and I kind of want that aesthetic as you're walking into the zoo. But that was honestly just like such a perfect point, just to keep these guys in here. And I feel like, just because I always see star value whenever I place animals near each other as well, where I don't want to put too many heavy hitters together unless if it's like supposed to be like that. So the penguins are usually just a very popular animal. Meanwhile, prairie dogs, even though like this one over here doesn't really have like the bubbles, prairie dogs really aren't the most popular animals from my experience. Right. And you kind of just work your way back up. Like, even Maine wolves, as cool as they are, they're not exactly popular.
Right.
But, and then it kind of like ebbs and flows with like, oh, the savanna section's over here. So it's just very much leaning into like that kind of planning aspect. I don't know. I kind of like it.
I love it. Yeah, because you're kind of forced to, not forced, that's not a good word, but you're kind of forced to have to look at, you know, you're passing through all those animals. So it's a great way to get people to look at every exhibit, you know, because it's like, you know, we're on our way to a flagship exhibit, which would be like that lion one. Mm-hmm. And so you have to pass all those other ones. So yeah, I think that's great design.
And it like, it speaks more to it, especially when you think about it from the fact that, like, let's just say, for example, I let all the guests in the zoo right now. They would all be, like, cramming around here, even in real life, too. They'd be cramming around, like, the African penguins. But you have a family that's like, oh, let's get out of the crowds, let's go watch the prairie dogs. And then they're around here, and they start to read about the prairie dogs, and they're like, oh, man, these guys are kind of cool. Oh, my gosh. Mm-hmm. But, I don't know. Yeah, that's just, like, always so fun to plan. I just have one last thing to do in this park, and it's this little interior section for, like, my night house. Yeah. So I gotta build for the aardvark and fennec fox. But besides that, the zoo will officially be on the workshop, and I'll be super excited.
Yes. Well, congrats to you for for completing a zoo, because I cannot relate.
Oh no, you just gotta have fun. You gotta do like a small stupid zoo like I do. It's rewarding.
Yeah, I definitely need to do like a very little side project.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah.
All right. Well,
I love the zoo.
Oh my gosh, I love it even more now that you kind of like really upgraded this section over here and the entrance too. So I can't thank you enough.
Yeah, of course. Thank you.
Is there anything you would like to promote as we close out, my friend?
Oh, well, I mean, I have my own channel, so if people haven't checked that out, definitely check that out. I also have a collaboration project called Twin Palms with my best friend Josh, and that's like one of my favorite projects.
It's one of my favorite projects too.
Yes, I mean a lot of this was I think very like I love aquatic builds, so I'm so glad that you had me do this one. And so this is like I've always wanted to build for the penguin, so I'm excited to do that one day in Twin Palms. But definitely check that one out if you guys haven't already.
All right. Yes. Well, in that case, thank you so much, Remnant, for stopping by. Thank you so much to all my friends out there all across the globe tuning into this. Be sure to check out Remnant's channel because he does some incredible stuff. Check out Josh's channel, too. Why not?
Absolutely, yes.
But that's about it. Anything else you want to say?
I think I'm good. Thank you so much.
No, please. Thank you even more. All right, have the most wonderful of wonderful day, my friends, and I'll see you all in the next one. Take care, and bye-bye.
All right, bye.